What's up, guys? It's Jacob, the Skateboard Mentor. We're back in the studio for another episode of the podcast. What's up, guys? It's Jacob, the Skateboard Mentor. We're here in the studio with DiNicola, the owner of Locals Only Skateboarding, local entrepreneur and skateboarder. He's traveled around the world, and I've known him for years, so I'm happy to sit down. Man, if you want to introduce yourself, thanks for coming on.
I own the company Locals Only Skateboarding. We are an all-inclusive skateboarding network. Our goal is to connect skateboarders like myself and Jacob with action sports companies who are looking for talent, whether that be business development, marketing, photography, videography, whatever the opportunity is. We want to make opportunities more accessible in the skateboarding industry. And if you want to work in skateboarding, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. And so I want to make that road easier.
Skateboarding's taught me so much, dude. That's what we do with the channel. We are the entrepreneurs of skateboarding, showing skateboarders that you learn a lot of valuable life lessons with skating, and as it relates to business, relationships, finances, everything, which we're going to dive into. But I want to know, how did you get started skateboarding?
Well, I saw skateboarding, and as any kid wants to be, they want to be cool, So I thought, okay, well, how can I be cool? I'm going to learn how to skateboard. So I got a skateboard. I guess I went to Rio Vista Skate Park, 2006. I remember my first time trying to roll up a ramp and kind of just going up and just splatting on the quarter pipe, not even rolling up and turning, just going up and just
into it.
Boom. Started going to Union Hill Skate Park, which is my local park that I grew up at.
It's a nice local park.
I love Union Hill. It's seriously, it's one of the best parks ever. Throughout that time, I started a YouTube channel. In college, I filmed a skate video called Bermuda. Prior to going to college, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was pretty much like an outcast, even in skateboarding as well. I can remember being at Union, but not having a lot of friends. I think I endured a lot of, ridicule as a kid, same as you. To the point where I never wanted to make anybody feel the way that I felt as a kid. So I've always, ever since middle school, I've always went out of my way to make people feel better.
They say when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If I can hurt someone, I can also help someone. So to just flip the negative to positive, then that's really what I'm trying to do, is just build a community of show people that, hey, you don't have to be a dick. You don't have to put people down to be cool. I thought it was hesh and cool to get in fights at the skate park and smoke cigarettes and be a punk ass skater and vandalize, And now I'm I'd rather just have my own. How do I build my own ramp in my own park, in my own yard, where I can just skate peacefully and not have to affect a business owner. Those people are just living lives.
How did you make the switch from negative to positive and start, turning yourself into a positive influence?
So I went to my counselor. I was like, man, I don't fit in here. And he knew I didn't. And he knew the situation. So I was like, how do I get out of here? And he said, double up on this English class and take this extracurricular thing, and you can graduate a year early. So I ended up just putting my head down, and I skipped my senior year. I graduated a year early. And from there, I was like, dude, I want to get my associate's degree early. So I doubled up on classes. I got special requests to take overload. And I got my associate's degree by the time I should have finished high school. So it was I went from
amazing,
just screwing around to focusing. And then I was 2 years ahead of people.
When I was in fourth grade, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, which is a slight form of autism. I was completely obsessed with animals, and especially hybrid animals. So I was over the top about ligers in particular, right? And so at that very time, Napoleon Dynamite came out, right? And he had that drawing where he's like, oh, it's a liger, it's pretty much my favorite animal. So great, so funny, but at the same time, I'm over here trying to convince my entire fourth grade class that ligers exist. And here's this winged beast with horns on a piece of paper, right? And so I was in special ed with a bunch of kids who couldn't eat, use the restroom, regulate their emotions by themselves at all. They needed a lot of help. And so I'm sitting in here and I'm I am not like this. I didn't feel like I fit in there. And so I had to earn points to get out of this class. I had to be on best behavior to earn 15 points to get one class schedule back. I literally just put my head down, didn't say anything to anyone because I was just depressed as a young kid. I had no self-esteem because of being put into that class. I felt like the kids who knew hey, Danny's not in this class anymore. Like something's up, like they didn't know that I was in special ed.
Yeah.
They might've seen me walking with the special ed, but I had that connotation that I was in special ed now, and I felt like the kids didn't like me because of that.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I found skateboarding, it gave me an outlet to make friends and talk to people, because I didn't have that at school. I was always asking big picture questions as a kid and even into my high school years, because I've always wanted to know about deep things. What is the meaning of life? Why am I here? Just that sort of stuff. And so even in high school, I didn't really fit in, because I wasn't concerned about prom or homecoming or anything like that. I wanted to make a difference in the world. I used skateboarding as an escape from everything else that was happening in my life. And it gave me a sense of belonging. But even at the skate park, I still faced that adversity, because, people used to make fun of me for my style. They used to call me robot arms and just mean things at the park, right? So I had like my solid group of friends at the park. And then besides that, I didn't make any friends really in high school. When I went to California for school, I used that opportunity to start fresh again. And I started talking to everybody. I learned self-confidence. With self-confidence also comes self-doubt, though, because you have to enable both sides. Like, you have that voice inside you that says, hey, you're not good enough. Hey, this is going to happen. It's self-sabotage. And I had to learn how to deal with that voice that was telling me I can't, in order to listen to the voice that was telling me that you can, no matter what. You are powerful.
Dude, I think it's important. I appreciate you sharing. I know we both had a past. We've had a lot of experiences. Like, the one thing that I do have is experience. I think everyone should go and experience everything, whether the negative and the positive, right? And I'm happy that we shared that, because it's like what you see on social media, what you see now. People might look at you as like, wow, Danny, you got locals only, you're doing this, you're such a good skateboarder, like all these awesome things. How do you do it? And people ask me that too, like, Jacob, how'd you make it? How do you do it? And I'm over here like, man, that this is one of the reasons why we are on the first podcast, right? Just to talk about these things. Like, we're human, and I want to be able to relate to like the skaters at home, people, even if you don't skate, that like you go through so much in life, and it's not that far off. We've had very different lives, but they're kind of similar in like what we've gone through. And I like to tie it into the skateboarding,
and the lessons we've learned, right?
Yes. And the skating specifically has taught me those, because I'm saying now, like with NESW, instead of using skating as an outlet, you can use it as a resource to set yourself financially free, mentally free, spiritually free, emotionally free. And just like you use it as an outlet. I use it as an outlet every day, because when you step on that board, you're not thinking about anything. It's a meditation in a sense. And you don't realize that you're building the confidence. You're learning life skills, applications like relentlessness, discipline, overcoming fear. You don't want to do that trick, but you want to land it. So you're gonna. Do you really want to throw yourself down that little 2-step? And then it's 3, and then it's 5, and now you're kick flipping an 8-stair, or those things apply to like, do I really want to make this cold call right now? Yeah, I do, because I want to get the sale, or whatever it is. And I've taken everything that you learn from skating and just tried to apply it to life. And now, instead of using skating again as an outlet, it's like, what can skateboarding teach me? And how can I show someone else that's super good at skating, and help them with their lives in other areas?
Skateboarding for me is not like, you say it's an outlet, it's a resource. I agree with you 100%, but the reason that I love skateboarding is because of the focus that it brings me. Like, I love skateboarding. I don't need to do a trick, I don't need to bust a nollie flip down a stair set. I can. That's awesome.
But you do, yeah.
I do, but I don't need to do that. I need to ride a skateboard. I need to, spin around and do a couple 360s on 2 wheels. You know what I mean? I need to do a kickflip, a nollie flip on flat ground, maybe a backside disaster, because that's my bag, and that's what I like to do, and it brings me focus. It's like going to the gym early in the morning, first thing to set yourself right.
Yeah.
That's why I skateboard, period.
Yep.
And not only that, my favorite thing about going to the skate park is talking to people. I don't even care to like skate as much at the park anymore. I want to film people. I want to talk to people. I just want to connect with people.
Dude, I love that. I want to touch on that, because how many people go to the skate park and are like afraid to make a connection. You see guys skating, and you don't really want to talk to people. Like, dude, Roman and I, we've known each other for years, but it was just mutual friends. And then all of a sudden, I'm posting on like on a forum on Facebook, like, hey, I need a videographer, someone that can like shoot. And then he messaged me, and we just connected. And I was like, dude, we know each other. And then we have mutual friends, you know. And now we're like doing this, and it's super cool because that's what I want to show people with NESW. You see someone wearing this monkey shirt or one of the boards, like, you know that that's someone you can connect with. You know that that's someone that will accept you and you know, take you in and like want to skate with you, want to help you. Like, we meet at the skate park. You're like, oh, dude, NESW, what do you do? Oh, are you part of this? You part of that? Yeah. Oh, I own a Locals Only. And it's a connection that you build and like a potential lifelong friend or business partner or something, right? Because I've met guys at the skate park that look like a college student, but they're like 30 years old and they're making 7 figures, living their dreams, traveling the world, you know, like crazy stuff, but you would never know that. And it's not just monetary, but there's people at the park that you just don't know what they do. I know, one of my friends, he's Harley Davidson certified and owns a shop, you know, and I know other friends with bikes. So where are they getting their bikes fixed? Why wouldn't you go to the guy who has a bike shop, who skates and has a mini ramp in his bike shop, you know? So I'm trying to connect people and just show that, like, if you can just talk to each other, we can help each other more and create opportunities. You can't do it alone.
I completely agree. It's so weird with like language too. Language makes a huge difference. Like we kind of went past it, but I want to bring it back really quick. I was in Denver recently. I was talking to my girlfriend, and I told her a couple days before that, I was like, I love to talk to people. She's kind of introverted. She likes to talk to people, but she's not that outgoing.
Okay.
We were at a show. We were seeing Zoo at Red Rocks. Like, awesome time. I literally turned to her. I'm like, babe, I need to correct something I told you because it is wrong. I don't love to just talk to people. I love to connect with people. And so the reason for that is because I want to know where you're coming from and how you feel, and I don't want to misinterpret anything. I think a lot of times in this life we misinterpret damn near everything because, you know, we're busy with jobs, girlfriends, workout program, making money, you know, that we don't have time to like sit back and clarify for people who might not understand right away. You can't do anything alone. You have to have a community. You have to have your core people that will help you get there. You know, so in order to find those, you have to connect with people. I don't know, maybe you know someone that I need in my life that's going to help me get somewhere, or I know someone that can help you, or whatever, right? Just us sitting here and being able to talk and like impact more people and like just reach more people together. That's powerful. And if we never talk to each other and never want to connect with each other because of ego or something else, like, you're not going to accomplish what you want in life. So there's a way in being selfish for yourself to get what you want that's in the best interest of other people. So you don't have to take from someone in order to get. There's an abundance in the world. And when you go from an abundance mindset, then you start really opening avenues of like, what could I do for these people that in turn they could help me with, or, you know, vice versa. When you make yourself better, this is so on point with what you're saying right here. But when you focus on yourself as a human and bettering yourself, you're making the world better one person at a time, instead of putting your efforts out there into a gigantic group of people and hoping that they get better. Yeah. And so it all starts with you. Jim Rohn says, if you want your life to change, you have to change. And unless you change, nothing will change for you. And it's, you know, Wayne Dyer has an orange theory where it's not the external things that happen in life where people say, oh, well, he did this to me and that's why I reacted, or she was mean to me and that's why I said that mean stuff. No, it's not the external thing. It's what's inside of you that you're going to give out to people, because it doesn't matter who squeezes the orange. You're always going to get orange juice. You're never going to get milk. You're never going to get apple juice. So it's interesting when the more you can reflect on yourself. And they say, you know, only from positions of strength can you help others. That's when I really started realizing that, like, I tried to help my dad. I tried to help my family. I'm like, how do I help other people? How do I help other people, right? And then I'm going to sleep sad, depressed. I'm waking up with no energy. I'm working. I don't have money. I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the friends I want. Like, I'm not where I want to be. And all I was focusing on is how do I help these other people that I thought needed my help. You know, you need your help more. Yeah, and you can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves first. So it's like,
I got to help me. And the more that I started focusing on me, when I made that shift of like, I got to take care of me, that's when, dude, stuff just started happening. Like my life gradually, if I look on a chart the past 3-4 years,
you're like a stock that's going up on the
keep
chart,
going,
right?
Dude.
Yeah, you're like, you start here at a penny stock, Jacob's worth $15 a share. Now he's up at 192.
It's like
whatever it is, you know?
And not even just in all aspects, right? Health, wealth, the love and happiness, like not just finances, but everything, quality of life, quality of people. If you would have, like, I would have never known, like, I'm with SkaterCon and, you know, putting on events and like hanging out with like pros and talking to Sheckler, going to
getting Andy Roy to shout you out,
like all these things, you know, and it's because I was focusing on me and the purpose, the why. What's my why? And I'm curious, like, what's your why?
I want to make a positive difference in the world, and I will stop at nothing until I do that. And I feel like every day I get closer and closer to that. And I want to be a beacon of light in a dark world.
Who else is going to do it? Like for me,
who else is going to do it? Who else can do it? Who else has
the capability, right? The wanting, the craving to. And I'm like, if there's anyone in my area that I know that I went to school with, family, friends, if I think about everyone in my life, it's like, who is that one person that's going to step up and go and make an impact? And that's me. And I'm like, I got to do it, dude.
Can I bring up something a little controversial here?
Sure.
Okay. I'm very disappointed in Kanye West recently. But with that being said, he's my favorite artist of all time.
I haven't followed any of it.
So, good. Don't. Because it's a waste of time, to be honest with you. And I say that only because for anybody who watches this and they see, oh, Danny likes Kanye, whatever. No. It is through his music that I have found confidence in myself and accomplishing everything that I want to get out of life. When I listen to that music, I see a person who is misunderstood. I was misunderstood, so misunderstood. I mean, I had periods of no friends for so long. I've had periods of solitude to the point where I have been pushed to the furthest reaches of space. I am an astronaut. Not a lot of people get that, you know? And when I see somebody else like that who might say the wrong thing at a time when they shouldn't say the wrong thing, I still look to that person and say, hey, you know what? Let's give these people the benefit of the doubt, you know? For anybody who's been misunderstood, each person has something that they offer, that they bring to the table. Let's not shut them up. Let's give them an opportunity to voice their perspective, you know? That's why I'm doing locals only skateboarding. The main reason is because I want an all-inclusive network. I've never been included. I tried to be a pro skateboarder very hard, you know? I put my entire effort, all of my energy for many, many years into it. And for whatever reason, I wasn't chosen. You either get chosen, you're either pushed out, or you forge your own path in skateboarding. Period, point blank. So I choose to forge my own path.
You know, with all the injuries and stuff I've had and like just skating.
Tell me about some of these injuries, man.
Yeah, we can dive into them, but I'm like,
I have stories too.
On a business side, you know, because when I was in high school, I'm looking, they hand you the pamphlet, which degree do you want to get, you know, and I just wanted to be free. I only wanted to be me, and people laughed at that, and the teachers were like, you can't just be you, you have to pick a degree. And I'm like, well, okay, well, which one makes the most money so then I could do whatever I want, right? And they only made like a couple $100,000 like with the top degree. So I'm like, do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be a brain surgeon? Do I want to do this? And I'm like, I mean, it sounds cool, but no. What do I want to do? And the answer always was just like, I want to be me. And then with skateboarding, I realized that like, okay, pro skateboarder, cool, this is fun. Like, but then pro skateboarders get paid and like you get free decks, whatever. But a lot of them, dude, a lot of pro they don't make that much money. So I was like, well, what if I was the person that had the business? And what if I had pro skateboarders under me? Like, who's the person that pays the skateboarders? Because they got to have money, right?
Yeah.
And that was when I shifted and was like, I could still have skateboarding in my life and not have to be a pro skateboarder. I could have a business. I could have pro skateboarders. I could build a team. I could build a community, build parks, you know, whatever. So it's pretty cool. Like, I'm like, you know, I make my own board.
Yeah.
Like, why not? You know, the possibilities are endless, right? I can make my own shirt. I love that. Like, I'm wearing Volcom and all these shirts from Tilly's and Zoomies, and I'm ordering on CCS, right? And you're paying $60 a shirt, and I'm like, dude, what if I made my own brand? I can make my own shirts and have other people wear these shirts because they vibe with how I used to vibe with skate companies. And it's super cool to see that you're doing that too with Levels Only.
When did thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
It's sick.
When did NESW like come to you as like a concept in your head?
Yeah, it was high school. The original idea for NESW, believe it or not, was I wanted to give students with disabilities, intellectual developmental disabilities, the ability to travel. And it still is an idea and what I am planning on, doing. But it was an app idea, and it was like, I don't know what the initial term was, but I wanted the compass, and I had NESW, and I'm thinking like, okay, now evolving skateboarding worldwide. And I just ran with it, and I don't know. This was an idea on paper for a long time, and I thought of a monkey, and I'm like, dude, a monkey would be cool. And I had this idea of like the monkey holding the board out and flipping it with these glasses, and graphic designers team. I'm giving them my ideas, and one thing led to another. But like it just goes to show that if you have an idea, a thought that goes into a writing that turns into action, and then you refine it, ultimately you get what you want. And most people want all these things, but they don't write their goals down. They don't take action on them. And then when they fail, right, they just give up. But like, how many times are you going to give yourself to do a kickflip? And that's why I love relating skateboarding to business, because whenever I learn a new trick, I'm not stopping till I get it, especially if we're filming and I want to learn. Like, we're not leaving the spot until we land the trick, dude.
Yeah.
Why? Just because we want the satisfaction of landing it for me, like nobody else. It's just me. And that's the same way where I apply with business, life, relationships. It's like, there's no other option, dude. You know how much money I've lost investing in coaches and businesses and people that have screwed me over? You know how much time I've lost like where I haven't seen results? And it's the faith aspect where I'm not stopping until I get what I want. There is no other option but landing the trick. There's no other option but becoming, successful. And that's it. Like, it's a magnificent obsession, like what we have with skateboarding.
Yeah, definitely. Like the lessons, like tenacity is number one. Well, for me at least, just like that unwillingness to back down. And you know what? Like, I totally agree with you. Like, I have been there. I have been at the spot trying to switch flip a 10 stair, right? And I'm like, I'm going to land this trick if it kills me today, And I'm a little bit reluctant to say that I don't necessarily have that tenacity when it comes to skateboarding anymore because of all the injuries that I have. But I bring that tenacity to so many other parts of my life because I won't back down. Like,
that's
literally.
Key, dude. And I want to highlight that because there's so many people that that love skateboarding, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is a skateboard mentor podcast. Like, we all have a love. I love all extreme sports. I grew up racing motocross, snowboarding, wakeboarding, snow skate, wake skate, like everything. I just loved extreme stuff. And those of you watching, that if you have a magnificent obsession, whether it's painting, whether it's skateboarding, whatever that is, you take those lessons that you learn from it of not giving up and just falling in love with the process and being willing to fail, and taking it and applying it elsewhere.
The other lesson I think that you can get from skateboarding as well is like when you're learning a tray flip or a kick flip, for example, you might try a certain foot placement. I don't have a board to show you the foot placement, right? But one foot placement might work for me, but that same foot placement isn't going to work for Jacob. Jacob's got to experiment. If he doesn't know how to hard flip, he's got to try to put his foot in a specific way, and maybe that foot placement will work for him. So even if it doesn't work the first time you try it in a certain way, try it again from a different angle, from a different perspective. Come at it from some other way, and you'll find a way to accomplish what you want to do. Huge example. I've been so scared my whole life to backside 50-50 a rail, right? I love skating rails. I can do frontside 50s, long ones. But backside 50s, whenever I ollie in, I get in and my truck doesn't go in the right place on the rail, and I just, for whatever reason, it makes me so nervous that I'm going to slam my face on that.
So do you have an example? Because I feel like the people watching, right, and listening to this, I think that a lot of skaters are good at that skating-wise, but they don't relate it again, outside of skating and can apply it to like get whatever they want and accomplish their goals. So do you have something in business that's helped you with locals only or whatever, right? That it didn't work out and you've had to refine that?
The clothing, right? Like I just got a bulk order of shirts. They were ordered from Alibaba, and then they were printed at Goodfellas Merch in Glendale, and I paid $400 for these shirts, 36 of them. They're great. These ones are getting better. This is Next Level 3600. The prior to this, I was getting my shirts off Printful, and I was printing Gildan 64000. That was the t-shirt model that I had. And the shirts started to curl up like that, and it would get really tight. And I've always been very, very picky with my clothing. Like I only wear soft shirts. I do not wear anything hard. If your shirt, and sorry to business owners watching this as well, if the shirt is hard and I feel it,
where the print is like,
I'm not buying the shirt. I
don't like that either.
You know what I mean? So invest in nice stuff, invest in good clothing, and be willing to experiment and find other clothing, right? So I want to make, for locals only, I want to make luxury skate wear eventually. I'm not at that level yet because everything, all the cool careers are all gatekeeped. So clothing, gatekeeped. Acting, modeling, gatekeeped. Skateboarding, gatekeeped. All of it's gatekeeped, right?
What do you mean by gatekeeped?
What I mean is that you have to pay people for lists, or people will deter you from going for that career, or they won't give you all the resources you need, and you have to find those resources all by yourself, right? So I can't go make luxury skatewear yet because I don't have those connections to find the luxury gear I need. As a manufacturer, to find manufacturers, you have to go to trade shows. You have to talk to people who are in the clothing industry. You have to say, hey, I'm looking to do this and make this type of stuff. Do you have any connections that can point me in that right direction?
Yeah.
Right? You're not just going to find a clothing distribution or a clothing manufacturing company that's willing to do your stuff. You have to have a big order. You have to be willing to drop money, you know, you have to be willing to put a lot of resources into that.
If you want it bad enough, then you will go to those networking events. You will start connecting with people. You will be like, who owns this company? Who owns XYZ? How do I talk to this? You'll send the email. You'll call the person. You'll do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Hell yeah, you will. Hell yeah. And trust me, guys, it is not for the faint of heart. Like, you know, it might look like we have everything together, you know, like everything's put together, like, you know what step you're going to do before it happens, you know. I don't know where you are with NESW, but for me at least, like it's not always a walk in the park. Like it's not, you know, as easy as social media makes it out to be. You know, you have to persevere for real.
Yeah, social media is what you want people to see. They don't see
the struggle.
They don't see the struggle, and I think that's one of the reasons why I want to highlight the entrepreneurs of skateboarding and just peel back like people that are crushing it and people that are trying to crush it and all in between of like goals essentially. You know, skateboarders that have a vision, that want to do more in their life, and maybe they're struggling. They don't know what to do next. You don't know where to find that or like how to even start, you know. And if we can just shed some light on like, hey, why don't you start with your purpose, your why? Why don't you start writing goals down, targets? How do you, like you said, there's a gatekeeper. You want to do something, go to a networking event. You go where success is, right? So if you want to be, you know, whatever, you want to learn technology, go to technology events. Start trying to get technology certifications, you know, pick up a Udemy course, go to Skillshare. You start replacing your bad habits with good habits. Like instead of an hour of YouTube every night watching random stuff, why don't you take a course that costs $20, $50? You know, most people aren't willing to put the time and investment into their own better future. And then, you know, years down the road, they wonder why they're not where they want to be, why they don't have the wife they want, why they don't have the job they want, they're not driving what they want. You know, it's like, why poor me, you know, why don't I have this? But what did you do to actually get it? And someone had told me, I don't remember who this was, but I heard, invest the first 100,000 into yourself. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. People will think like, how do I even get 100,000? You know, there's people that make that in like an hour, you know, like there's some big fish out there, and the world is abundance. They say that like monetary life is so abundant, it's like the ocean. And some people will take a cup and fill it up and they'll go home, right? And then other people will take a teaspoon, and then some people will just siphon it out. But what happens if I take 5 dump trucks of water out of the ocean? It's still the ocean. right? So whether that is, you know, a $30,000 a year career, whether that's 500,000, whether that's 50 million, or like Elon Musk, he's got, you know, he was at one point like $330 billion. You can't even fathom that amount, but the money's out there and it's not like it's going anywhere. So the point being, you can go get whatever you want. You just have to be intentional about it and know that it's possible. Like know that it's there for you. Most people just don't even, they think that it's not possible, and that's why you're already starting with a negative. You're like, yeah, that can't be me.
Either you can or you cannot. Either way, you are right.
Yes,
right?
Love that. Yep.
So you just literally have to believe in yourself, like you need to breathe air, like you need to drink water. You might not always want to drink water, but like you have to do it throughout your day, you know? Do stuff that motivates you, that uplifts you, you know? Listen to good music, be with friends, go to festivals, you know? Go skateboard at a park, learn your trick, go take a new hobby on. There is a lesson in everything that you do, whether it's finding a job, getting a girlfriend, keeping a girlfriend, making money, having a stable mentality, playing video games even. I mean, a lot of people will say that there's no lessons in video games, but there definitely are. So there is a tremendous power in self-development. It wasn't until I started reading, right? And I started like just figuring out ways to set boundaries, how to, you know, tell people no when they needed to hear no. And all that stuff really like taught me a lot about business as well, from sending out emails to cold calling to, you know, just setting up the business on your website, to creating content, like to dealing with other people interpersonally. Like for me, I love writing. I love copy, you know. I love writing an Instagram caption. It's like one of my favorite things because I'll try to find something about the video, and whether it's 2 words in all caps or it's a monologue about what this means to me, I'll try to put meaning into everything that I do because I want people to find that hidden meaning.
Yeah. You know? So right now we're prepping for SkaterCon, March 11th. It's going to be at Paradise Valley.
Oh, sweet.
I'm actually going to go fly out to California to talk with Pierre-Andre on our Etnies, and we're going to talk SkaterCon to take it internationally, possibly with the Olympics.
Wow. Paris. Be awesome.
Yeah. So lots of good
Sounds
plans.
like I should be at SkaterCon, huh?
You should probably be at SkaterCon. Yeah. So lots of good things happening with SkaterCon. Shout out Adam Richards. You're the man, dude. Love you, brother.
Adam Richards, man. You're the best.
He's, dude, we just all share a love for skateboarding and like SkaterCon itself, like this whole expo. So I'm really focusing this next year on SkaterCon events. I know there's going to be 2 or 3 events. We're focusing on one good big event for NESW, and then really I'd like to do our first skate park build internationally next year. So setting up for that, I'm thinking either Leon, Nicaragua, or the Tobago Islands, Panama. So that's in the works. And
who's going to build this park? Where is the funding going to come from?
So we'll build a park. And yeah, those are some things that, like, you know, sometimes you don't have to know how, you just have to start doing it. You just have to know why and like why we're doing this. So funding, everybody has money. And we're going to find the money, and we're going to find a way to build a park. We're going to go and donate some skateboards. You know, every skateboard that you buy, we donate one to foster care and kids around the world. So if you want to support, click the link down below. You can buy one of these cool boards, and we'll donate one directly to, you know, these skate park builds. And it's super cool. We've already donated now over 300 skateboards to local foster care and kids in need. We've fed hundreds of families. So the mission, what we're intending to do, right, long term, is to build skate parks, build learning centers, offer our programs around the world, and show people, like, just build this community of like entrepreneur skateboarders, and show people that like you can thrive in life through skateboarding, and not have to just use it as a way to like escape. And I know you escaped, and you talked about escaping before and using it as an outlet, and I did the same, and now it's helped me live where I want to live, drive what I want to drive, do what I want to do, hang around the people I want to hang with. And if I can share that with the world and bring up other people, especially in countries that they don't have it. I know we didn't dive into like traveling, but like we both have a lot of traveling experience. We're blessed to be here. Wi-Fi, iPhones, streets, sidewalks, hot water, like so many things that like we take advantage of. It's now evolving skateboarding worldwide. You know, I got to take care of my neighbors here in Phoenix, take care of the guys here, but we're gonna go worldwide and blow this thing up.
For Locals Only Skateboarding, we currently do an Instagram page, a TikTok, a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Locals Only Skateboarding. On Instagram, it's Locals Only Skate TV. We are currently working on a LOS video magazine, and what that will have is segments from groups all over the valley. So we'll have skateboarders who thrift, and I'll talk to them about their decision making when it comes to thrifting. I have a skateboard workout trainer, and she will do a workout for the workout segment for the mag. I have a clothing brand, Shit That Kills You, STKY. They're doing some stuff for us as well in the magazine. I have my graphic designer who's going to talk about his approach towards graphic design. And then I have a filmographer, Adam Turner, who is going to talk about his approach towards filmmaking. And then I have Sarkis and Ethan, Sarkis Johnson and Ethan Scoville. They're going to be doing it's kind of like a skate couples thing. They're like best friends, and we're gonna like ask them questions about each other. Like, oh, nice, yeah, like, Ethan, tell me about Sarkis's favorite trick, or tell me what is Sarkis's favorite trick, and then it'll just be back and forth like that. Then we have another one, which will be a montage of all the street clips that we get, because we know you guys love street clips, and we're all about that hardcore skateboarding as well. Then we also have, hopefully, not guaranteed yet, but hopefully Ryan Lay is going to do a segment on Perry Park and skate after school and how it came to be. And so that will be dropping here in the next couple months. And depending on how all that goes, we'll probably do another video magazine every 3 months, every quarter. And yeah, I'm currently building the network. I've met a lot of skate business owners. For example, like we went to the barracks for Damn Am. I met Johnny Sherliff there, I'm hoping That's to, sweet. Yeah, dude, owner of Element, Heart Supply, dude, he's probably one of the most inspirational leaders in skateboarding, in my opinion. And so, I plan to meet with skate business owners like that, and then individuals as well, to build a network which will eventually turn into a platform where skateboarders like you and I will be able to have our resume, our portfolio online, and then companies will be able to go and say, hey, here is our company, here's what we're all about, and here's what we're looking for. I'm hoping, there will probably be some companies that are, there are some opportunities that are unpaid, but I'm hoping to put a lot of paid opportunities onto this app as well. And this will be, a pretty big undertaking to do, but I'm hoping that, it'll turn into something that advances skateboarding in a way that makes it easier for everybody to be involved. Other than that, we're working on a full-length video, and yeah, I'm just working on upping the gear of Locals Only. I want it to be like the coolest skate gear, period.
Dude, I have no doubt that you will see the success. We're going to enter 2023. Let's absolutely crush it. And it's only up from here, dude. We love skateboarding, and we're using it as a way to set ourselves up mentally, physically, financially. So I'm happy you came on, dude. I hope you guys got some value out of this. Please subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment on some topics that you want to see on business, personal development, mindset, relationships. We got it here. We're going to be bringing on some really cool people, so stay tuned. Awesome talk.
Thank you again for having me, dude. This is super legit.
Sweet.
Amazing. I love it.